Hello everyone. So this video will be both in Creole and English. Video sa nan anglais avec Creole parce que c'est yon ba mte kreye nan journal mwen. It's something that I created in my journal, so I'm here to share it. So it started off with hold on. Yeah, it started off where I was asking. Okay, it all started with that day where, you know, remember the Friday thing that we used to have at church, and they were talking about journaling, right? And then I asked questions and that kind of stuff, and then I eventually decided to go back into it, right? And the first day I went back to it was June, June the 5th. So that's like a few months ago, like when summer started. Yeah. Se yon bay nou te pale avek nan vendredi, epi nou te deside pou retounen nan jounel mwen, so nou deside pataje mpe avek. So, the point of me writing in the journal was to figure out a couple questions. It's like a time of reflection, right? So I'll have moments where I'll just do nothing for a while. I need to go back to that, by the way. And would just think about life and what am I doing with it? It's very important to do because you have to know what you're doing. Is it meaningful or is it pointless? Because you have to make sure you don't waste time. Et yon réflexion qui me fait. So, on nous commence. So, the first question I ask myself is to be honest with myself and to ask what problems do I have? Première question me demande tête moi c'est pour me venir honnête pour me connaître qui problème qui me gagne. And then the first chapter is you're coping, right? Premier chapitre là c'est I don't know how to say that in Creole, but c'est là yon moun yo gen un problème, au lieu pour yo admettre que yo gen un problème là, yo fait un lot bay pito. Et nan façon ça me ka expliquer. Et puis m'te commencé écrire tant sur téléphone là, vraiment te vle diminuer dans le ça parce que tant te gen sur téléphone là, il était en pile le ça. Spécialement les sommets commencé, hey, sous ta ouais là, ta petit gamin. Hey, gamin, ça va ga ou même. My screen time was really high during those days. So I had to figure out, ask myself, why? Why am I spending this time on the phone? Which is literally the second question, why? And then now I don't want to read the whole thing, so I'll just read the basic one. Why? And then the first one was boredom. And then because of this boredom, it goes it's not just boredom, it's when you feel down and you feel sad, the thing is you go to your phone. And then when you go to your phone, you feel happy for a while and then you go back to the sadness. Because the thing is, when you're coping, when the cope is gone, you're left to deal with what you're doing, what you're dealing with alone. So basically the thing is, if you don't attack the problem while it's there, it's still gonna be there. And the moment you get out of what you're coping with, it's very, very tough. Gen parfois, là sous téléphone, bah là c'est que gen parfois E pa pou tèt telefon nan se problem nan, se la vi a pase, pi au lieu pou yo cherche ed, yo ale nan telefon, pi rezon ke yo fè sa e pou tèt. Like, sou pa arete pou pale ave yo, pou fè tan ave yo, e pa bon. If you don't spend time like talking with your kids, then it's not, because think about it. You have to figure out a solution eventually, right? If you don't find a solution, what do? You cope. Parce que ba la se ke ti moun na normalement I pa vle pou fè tout tan sa nan telefon. But pou tèt li wè sa kom yon bay ki ka bay li yon tire pou bay sa yo e nan sa yi ale. So problem la e pa telefon, parce même sou ta ti telefon la nan men li, ap cherche yon lot bay quand même. Because if you think about it, you'll think the phone is the problem and I just need to delete Instagram and all that stuff. The thing is, no, that doesn't work, because the issues you're dealing with, if you try to attack the phone, like get rid of it, it's not going to work, because you're always going to want it back. And if you don't know why you're doing it, then how are you going to break free? And the question is the question of who do you go to when you feel sad, when you feel hopeless? If you go to the phone, you become distracted and you waste a lot of time. We should go to God. And if your parents are not a safe place to go to, that's why you're probably doing a lot of things you shouldn't. Problem na se ke ti moun na, la wè fè baye ki pa bon, e paske I pa santi ke moun tendel. Koyan pou tèt li santi jan sa, I ale cherche l'autre kote pou I jwen sa I bezwen pou koute a. What I'm saying here is sometimes we don't feel heard, and because you don't feel heard, you look for other places to where you could feel heard, and that's where you put your trust in. Because the thing is, someone who listens to you is someone who, could go a long way for you. But if your parents is not the one that's doing that, then of course you're going to look for friends and look elsewhere and to be on your phone. So the real issue isn't the phone itself, it's actually the real issues we're dealing with inside. Instead of addressing it, well, we try to address it, but then when we try to and it fails, we go to other options, which is why it is important for us to speak to the parents. But sometimes it doesn't work out, which is why we need to depend on God to open their eyes. Problem na se ke pou tèt telefon na e pa problem na, epi nou atake ti moun na pou tèt sa, e pa telefon na ki le problem. Le problem la se jan yi atake problem pos internal yo. I ta vle pale ave yo, but pou tèt ou telman wè sa yi fè ki pa bon yo, ou pa vraiment koute. So ba la se ke fon nou ta tende koute ti moun yo. Paske si nou pa koute yo, la cherche l'autre kote pou yal bay. So, e sa pou nou fè. We have to get a closer relationship with our parents. Et puis, for our parents to have a closer relationship with the kids, because for a relationship to work, two parties have to contribute.